Was the approximate position I was in, or the approximate view that my boss at the time had of me when she made me this question. She asked, "Do you like to read that, or do you like to read that kind of book?" We were on a train coming back from work because there was just one train line that went back to the center of the city, downtown. That's where I lived. And it was pretty funny to me, that question. I was reading probably 21, how does 21 Lessons for the 21st Century by Yuval Noah Harari. And it was one of a bunch of books that I ended up buying in Germany, even though at the beginning I didn't really want to buy books because I thought they were expensive because I was stupid. And yeah, they were expensive. They were like 12 euros, 15 euros, 10 euros for someone that was making a little over 1,000 euros a month. And what finally I decided, dude, it's stupid not to buy a couple books here or there because I was going to the bookstore anyway to read and spend a couple hours reading. Why not buy some of the ones that I really liked, right? So I actually ended up buying a bunch of them, and I don't think it brought all of them back, but I think I have some of them here. Okay. So not here, but definitely at home. This one was one of the books that I read at that bookstore when I was there. It was brand new at the time, Ray Dalio's Principles, but I didn't end up buying it there. I bought it when I came back to Brazil. This one was actually pretty expensive. If it's 22.90 euros, and I bought it in Portugal when I went there with my parents when I was living in Germany. We went there for Christmas. Probably the most expensive book I've ever bought. Come to think about it, this is in Paris. But anyways, this is not the point. The point was, why the hell was she asking me? Why did I like reading about things like history or economics or nonfiction, basically. And these are the things that I really love to read about and really love to consume. And if I go down back very, very far, when I was little, I'm not sure what it was, maybe 9, 10-ish, maybe 12, 13, I'm not sure. But I remember going to a bookstore and I wanted to buy basically the same kind of book that I buy to this day. And my mom was like, "No, you should be buying something like psychology or something about relationships or something because like I don't know, to talk to girls or something." But really what I've always liked was this kind of thing. This is the good life. This is Steal Like an Artist. I always liked that kind of book. And the point I'd like to make, why wouldn't you read on the train? Like, why wouldn't you let your brain get in contact with new ideas and spark new connections? Why would you waste the time on the train, like half an hour each way or even more, doing nothing? Of course, if you are with a friend, you might be talking to them, or if you are very tired, you might sleep a little. But on those days that you aren't super tired or you aren't with someone that you like and you want to talk about something, why wouldn't you be listening to a podcast or reading a book or doing something? That's one of the secrets why I learned German so quick as well, because I listened to podcasts on learning German, and those little things compound. Those little things add up. And I know it doesn't seem that way, but they do. And I've always been a bookworm ever since I was a little kid. But really, the point of this is reading is awesome. And of course, what's there not to like about reading, about learning, about being in contact with good ideas? Because reading this book, for instance, this is about that Harvard study on well-being, on having a good life, on um, longevity. You know that longitudinal study, so that study that goes throughout those people's whole life. So they go every 2 years and they interview those people and they do blood tests and a few other tests, MRIs, whatever, and they check on those health meters and those markers to see what are the elements that actually influence in the well-being of people. And the key finding of this book, at least halfway through it that I've read, is that the main thing is relationships. And that's a very interesting thing. The main thing, if you want to live a longer, happier life, is to cultivate your relationships because this is correlated to better health markers, better blood pressure, better blood sugar, and it's even more correlated or as correlated as things that usually come to mind, like smoking or drinking or obesity. And it's full of very interesting insights. And that's why I love reading. And if you look at my books, they're full of things that I underline or things that I jot down because I have those ideas while I'm reading them. And sometimes you have an idea that has nothing to do with that book in particular that you're reading. But because you're facing something in your life and your work life, for instance, you have this problem that you're trying to solve. And by reading something, and many times something that has nothing to do, at least in theory, with what you're doing, you might spark an idea. And this can happen even with fiction, really. If you read the good fiction, you will get new ideas as well. And if you read something like Dostoevsky or Machado de Assis, you might learn a lot about human psychology as well. So reading is awesome. Like these guys, Robert Waldinger and Mark Schultz, these guys are in their 60s and 70s. They're super famous. I mean, not famous. I mean, famous is a bad word to use in this context, really. But they're super accomplished scientists in their areas with PhDs, and they are professors at Harvard. So it's not like they're a big deal in their area. Same thing for Tim Ferriss in this book, in which this is the Tools of the Titans in English. So he summarized some of the best tools that he got from his podcast, talking to some great guys in business and academia and whatever, sports, whatever area you might think of. Or this one is about one of the most accomplished hedge fund managers of all time, Ray Dalio, and he talks about his principles to make decisions. And you may not like him as a person, but this book is pretty solid. Can help you a lot. Or even this one, Still Like an Artist, that's a pretty quick read, and it's actually a fun read by Austin Kleon. And you really can read it in a sitting. It's full of drawings, of doodles. And why wouldn't you read these things that people put years of their lives into developing those ideas, those concepts, and smart people usually? Why wouldn't you take a few hours to try to digest a little bit of that? You can download it into your brain. And nowadays, I don't really use them, but you can use audiobooks, you can use podcasts, you can use so many other means to get those ideas downloaded into your brain. And of course, I'm not advocating for you to just read 1 trillion books a year. That's the thing. I will read 1 trillion books and then I'll have the Holy Grail. Yeah, this is the Holy Grail. of information, and now I have that last piece of the puzzle, and with this piece, this one, or maybe this one, I'll be able to do whatever I want. I'll be able to start my business. I'll be able to find the love of my life. I'll be able to cure cancer or whatever. That's not the point. But the point is that being that kind of person that likes to read, that likes to consume educational content, that likes to learn new things, that pays attention, because you might be walking down the street and it's the same street, but by paying attention, you may notice something, and that something might spark an idea, and that idea might help you in some shape or form in business or in relationships or whatever it is. But the focus here is more in ideas and self development and business, that kind of stuff. So by doing this, by having this mindset of liking to read, you won't be like my former boss, like asking people, why do you like, what do you even like reading that kind of thing? Of course, I like reading that kind of thing. If I didn't, I wouldn't be reading it, right? And that's the thing, especially in the coming years, the things that will differentiate you are the things that you can do for hours and hours and hours on end that other people think or they feel like it's work, but for you, you like it so much that you can spend the whole day researching, I don't know, attention, or researching neurochemistry, or researching cactus. I have one of my best friends, he loves cacti and he knows everything about cacti. So maybe he likes to research cacti or design or geography or law or whatever it is that you like. And that's the thing. That's the competitive advantage that you have, that it's an unfair competitive advantage, because for you it's play, but for them it's work. So think about those things and leave a comment down below. What's the thing that you really love, you really like, that's your unfair competitive advantage because you can't get enough of it? And also share this with some friend that likes to read, or some friend that that should read a little more, but you love them. It's your brother, it's your sister, and you want them to get a little better. Thank you for watching, and please like, subscribe, all that kind of thing. Subscribe to my newsletter because some great things are coming over there. I promise you guys are going to like it very much. Some events, some new content, some new products as well. They're coming soon. And I don't want to spoil the surprise too early, but you guys should definitely check it out. I'll leave the link on the description as well. And if you're watching this, you're not here by chance. You're here for a reason. And the reason is you want to unleash your inner rock star, or deep down, you could do better at something. And by just by being here, just by watching this and this kind of content, this kind of book, you're doing something. But don't let it be the only thing that you do. You need to take action as well. Of course, you're doing the first thing, the first few steps, but you need to take massive action. You need to go and take those things out of the paper. You need to set up your account in whatever social media you want to sell your things on, whatever platform. You need to create your website. You need to talk to people, whatever it is. But if you need any help, I'm here for you. And if I can't help you, I have friends that can. So just keep rocking, keep rolling. Let's get to 1 million rock stars as soon as possible, okay? See ya.